Dear friends, it's good to be with you today to offer some brief observations concerning the state of our court and of the Florida judiciary. As you know, since the last Historical Society dinner, our court has welcomed Justice Coriel and Justice Grosshands to our ranks. We are so delighted that they are on board. I can tell you truly, it would be impossible to find two colleagues who are more collegial. I know that they both will make great contributions to the work of our court throughout the years ahead. It has been a difficult year since we last were together. I know that some of us have personally suffered from COVID-19, and some of us, sadly, have lost people dear to us. And it has been a very challenging time in the practice of law. We all long for this pandemic to be over. Although the Supreme Court and Florida's district courts have certainly had to drastically change the way we do business during the pandemic, we have been able to keep our dockets moving forward without significant interruption. All of us look forward to getting back to the traditional way of conducting oral arguments, but we have found that Zoom arguments have actually worked pretty well. We are grateful that we were able swiftly to pivot to the use of this technology to keep the resolution of cases moving forward in the appellate courts. Unfortunately, the story for our trial courts is a different matter. Although much work has proceeded in our trial courts, due to the constraints imposed by the pandemic, we have been able to conduct only a very small number of trials. And as we all know, although most cases never proceed to trial, many cases will not be resolved until there is the imminent prospect of a trial. So cases in our trial courts are stacking up unresolved. When we are able to resume something like normal operations in the trial courts, our trial court judges will be facing a backlog of unprecedented magnitude. Working through this backlog will be a monumental undertaking. We are now working with legislative leaders to secure additional resources to help us accomplish this task as quickly and efficiently as possible. As difficult and frustrating as the time of the pandemic has been for our court system, we have learned through this time that much work can be done through remote proceedings, and significant reductions in the cost and burdens of litigation can be realized through the use of such proceedings. Going forward, I believe that we can improve the responsiveness, accessibility, and efficiency of our courts through the appropriate use of these means. Traditional in-person proceedings will, of course, remain central to the work of our courts. As we look forward to the post-pandemic world, I am pleased to report on the Society's partnership with the court in studying ways to modernize the court's 175-year-old library. Although we are looking at the library's research support role at the start, we plan later this year to move on to a second topic of study as we investigate ways to create a judicial learning center inside the present library. A consultant with the National Center for State Courts is helping us examine this idea and already has interviewed Society members about it. There are many uses this learning center can serve, including educational outreach and learning programs that draw upon the court's long and rich history. There is an obvious overlap here with the Society's mission that will make the Society an important partner in the development and operation of the Learning Center. Further details will be developed as the National Center's study progresses in the months ahead. In recent days, we have all been given reason to be very proud of the performance of courts all around our country. Relying on reason and facts, courts apply the rule of law without fear or favor. The stark truth is that in the absence of a strong and independent system of courts, the rule of law would die and our nation would soon succumb to the rule of mobs. All of us can be grateful that our courts and other institutions of government are strong and resilient, but we can never forget that none of these institutions are unbreakable. Their long-term viability cannot be sustained without the support and commitment of a people educated in the ways of liberty and constitutional government. Thank you for what you do in educating the people of Florida about the role of our court in our system of constitutional government. Thank you for giving me this opportunity today. Friends, I can't tell you how much I look forward to seeing you in person at next year's Historical Society dinner. In the meantime, please stay safe.